This is the worst movie I've ever seen. Old movies are like so lame. Bring back all the new movies, man. All the new Marvel films, so much better. Madame Web, all the new Predators, all the new Jurassic Parks. Best films, man. The Hobbit, man. All these old films. These people need to just like get over themselves. Like, dude, it's like so 80s. The CGI was horrible in this film. It's like 80s cheesy shit CGI bullcrap. Man, I'm never doing one of these crap. Hey, Mitch. Hello, YouTube. We're back. Hello.
What's up?
What's up?
Sorry.
Oh, it's hot, even though it's cold. And I got the aircon on.
You got a fever.
But you're here as well, which
I'm
freaking
here.
heats up the room by 20 degrees.
Yeah, I got my own orbit.
Well, we're going to react to a classic. What are we going to do, Mitch?
Back to the Future Part 2.
Glitch.
My absolute favorite of the trilogy.
Yep.
And this probably is then Josh's first time watching it. He may have seen snips of it earlier in his life.
I've seen it.
Okay.
20 years ago.
Right. So you can barely remember anything.
Chicken? Yeah, I remember a couple of parts, like key parts.
Yep.
But yeah, I've forgotten a lot. I remember a bit of the hoverboarding and such.
Of course.
But yeah, I'm keen to give it another watch. So, anything else before we go?
No. This is heavy. Let's go.
Yes.
What do we do now?
When I put the control.
I have.
Well, actually, I might have to piss.
Okay.
So I'll just edit it. And I got ourselves some beverages.
Beverly Beverages.
Oh yeah, what I forgot to say is, and we're going to watch it right now, and then we're going to review it after. So we'll be back to the future.
That's like the best setup for a movie. Oh my god. Love it. Oh god, I love that movie.
Yeah, what a setup to the third one too.
Yeah, man.
So, all right, we just finished. Back to the
108
Future
minutes,
2.
man. It feels so much more because of just how much that happens in that film, how much of the pace. It says it right there.
Only 108 minutes.
Only 108 minutes, man.
That's an hour and 40 something. Wow.
Yeah.
It's just filled. It's filled to the brim. Absolutely.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Absolute chaos, man. Like, there's no moment to like sit down and like think about what you're doing. It's just on the go, and I freaking love it, man. It's so good. So I'll let you speak first because this is a film that I nourish my entire life. So you go on right ahead. Ah.
So we did towards the Act 3, we had Marty going to the part trying to grab the book,
The almanac.
the almanac. But in the first movie, that Marty didn't exist. It only existed in movie 2. That's what I'm wondering.
See, this. Well, I'll let you keep going on.
How
but yeah.
time travel is.
Yeah.
Because in my head, in the first movie, that Marty would have existed.
Mhm.
But we don't see him. So it makes you want to go through the first movie again to see, was Marty there somewhere as an Easter egg?
Yeah,
to see
true.
him or something?
I don't think so because the first film, when it was originally made, was never meant to have sequels, even though they left it on like.
Oh,
to
I
conclude.
get you. Yeah,
But because of the popularity and the huge success that it made, they said, "All right, we'll give you the sequel." So then they just played with it. They brought it back to the
based
original
on
film.
fan theory, wouldn't that Marty exist?
I guess. That to me is not like I warned you that there's a contradiction in
Yeah.
how the time travel works. For me, it's when Doc is explaining what Biff did. Biff stole the DeLorean, went back to 1955, gave him that almanac book to himself, younger version, and then from that point went back to the future, brought the DeLorean back for Doc and Marty. That doesn't make sense. And he explains it in the very same scene. You can't go towards the future because it will be the alternate future.
It's not the same.
It doesn't make
timeline.
sense, in my opinion, because, and also too, why would Biff want to go back to the future and give the DeLorean to Marty and Doc to have them a chance to like fix everything? You think he would have just like done his own thing with it?
That's the biggest thing. Yeah.
Yeah. If you get around that and say whatever, it's a fun ride, but it kind of shoots itself in its own foot because Biff went into the 50s, gave himself the almanac. So from that point in the 50s, he's gone back to the 2015. That should have been the alternate reality 2015, which means he should never have been able to return to where Doc and Marty were in future 2015. You know what I mean? That should have been a new timeline, but somehow he goes back, and then literally 2 scenes later, Doc's explaining that that's not how it works. So if you can get by that real big flaw of the law shooting itself in the foot, it's one of the greatest sequels of all time.
Yeah, I remember I was thinking, like, wait a second. So he went back in time, then Doc and Marty went back in time. How? When he took the car, but like he took the car with him.
He brought it back.
But he brought it back.
But it still doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
even if if the rules applied for him to bring it back. Why would Biff do that? But it doesn't make sense to the hows he was able to bring it back to them.
Yes.
Because Biff would have altered the reality and all that stuff. So yeah.
And then when Marty and Doc went back to the past, where they saw the old Biff again behind the tree,
Mhm.
that would have been a different version. That would have been
it's
again.
it kind of it's scrambled.
Yeah, but it's such a. But I think what they did with all the different events that it was perfect. Like
I agree.
it was perfect. They got really the great elements from the first movie, and they showed it again in this one.
Yeah,
All the good beats,
pretty much all the nostalgia that you felt.
all the
in love with in
nostalgia.
first one,
You saw it from a different angle, so you didn't feel cheated.
Yeah, that was great. I loved it. I love it. They took that angle.
Yeah.
And man, I tear up every time for some reason.
At
in
the
this
end
film.
part,
I don't know why. It's nothing too emotional. It's just a fun thrill, and it warms your brain a little. This whole time thing where this event happened. Doc is in this in the Western, and he wrote a letter to arrive at this exact point in time.
Yeah.
And then it's the whole. I think it's the music that triggers me. That heroic kind of
Yeah.
adventurous music, and it brings you back every time to a significant point. So when you see Marty realizes, I know exactly where Doc is. He's just stuck in the West. He's like, there's only one man that can help me. And it cuts back to the original footage of the film when that music kicks in. Man.
Doc is a genius.
It's from the top!
So trippy.
Yeah.
Dear Marty, if my calculations are correct, you will receive this letter immediately after you stop the warning struck by lightning. First, let me assure you that I'm alive and well. I believe happily these past 8 months to meet your 1885. The lightning bolt. 1885! September 1885!
Wait a minute! What's this all about?
He's alive! The Doc's alive! He's in the old West, but he's alive!
You alright?
I'm tearing up thinking about it right now. I don't know why. It always gets me. Always gets me, man. It's
Yeah,
just-
and in the end, where he's like, I've been here 8 months having a good time. He's been there 8 months, but wouldn't you have just been there for a minute?
Well, there's a little when he's driving around, he accidentally knocks the time console, and you see that the date, January 1st, 1885. So that's when he got struck by lightning. That's where it took him to January
I
1st.
see.
And
So 8
he-
months before the...
yeah, and it would have taken him a long time to establish himself and to get a letter to the Western Union, right? So 8 months
I
later,
see.
he found himself a situation and was able to get that letter, with the gambling hopes that it actually arrived when it was supposed to. So
Oh yeah, man.
70 years in the West, you know.
But it's kind of telling you a bit without telling you that Doc obviously was significant in the West.
Mm,
He must have been important enough.
some influence, yeah.
Influence for them to keep that damn letter.
Yeah, true. And I do love, especially in this one, they always sprinkle a little in-joke about the West. If it's not seeing Clint Eastwood, if it's not his shirt.
Yeah.
And he even says, like, I would have loved to have seen the West, you know, because their plans were to destroy the DeLorean after fixing everything in this. Evidently, that's going to have to be postponed because he's stuck in the West. But yeah, they were building up for this one, that second one. The third one would be in the West. And
I'm glad they went like, we're going to China.
yeah, in the 80s it would have been Japan, but yeah, cool.
Or like every movie 10 years ago, there was a big thing. Remember like 10 years ago, every movie had to go to China?
Yes.
Like
And then the Chinese,
market.
influence, because it was like, 50% of cinema sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still do that, unfortunately.
And then the third movie came out in 89?
90.
90.
They shot part 2 and part 3 back to back. That's why they had that little trailer at the end of this one, because they're already filming it when the second one was made.
Oh, they should have done that, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just like,
I reckon it was a perfect ending. Like, they should have just left it there.
yeah, when
It
it
was
was
so-
just painted. Yeah.
It was a good... So, man, back when they did good endings and good setups for movies.
Exactly right.
So they completed this one and they really well set up the next one.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Pretty much. Yeah, I just love the chaos. I have this talk with my brother all the time because we watch Back to the Future once a year. His favorite is the OG. When he was younger, it was the third one because he had a thing for the West when he was
Yeah.
younger. But for me, I just always loved the chaos and the sporadic energy that was in this one. It's just like,
It's more elevated. Everything's
Extremely.
more elevated.
yeah, for
And
sure.
also, they go to the future, then they go to the past as well. And you get to see cool parts from the first film.
Alternate present, yeah.
And you get to see a lot of the same things, like when Marty's in the 80s diner, and then you see this, it's like the same camera angle. You see the car, but instead of coming in like 50 style, it comes down like, yeah.
Yes.
So it's the same scene, but in the future.
Yeah, they always have those callbacks, and I love the. It's because we're talking about time, right, and deja vu and serendipity. So it is clever to have a lot of scenes, whether what time period they're in, kind of mirror each other.
Yeah.
You know, it's like fate, so to speak. Perhaps it does play along with the chance versus fate. Either way you take it, so be it. Even like the little in joke with Doc explaining, like, unbelievable that Biff would have chosen that week when we were in 1955 and we had in the lightning bolt, and your father and your mother fell in love. It must be just a weird coincidence.
Yeah, and that's in the first review. I was kind of like,
You said that. You called that out.
Man, everything everything happened within a week period. That was
Within a week of
significant
life.
of everyone's life.
Yeah, that week of November 12th, 1955 was, as he says, the significant junction point in the space-time continuum. Or just a coincidence.
And Doc was honestly, he was the same as the first film.
Yes.
He was the same. He was amazing.
If anything, he was a gear higher in this one because the whole story starts with him and the ripple effect of
Yes.
cause and effect. Him trying to do something good for Marty and the effect that occurred from that. Marty screws up, admittedly, and it just one problem after another. You fix one problem, two more occur. It's just, I love it. I love the chaos nature that was the Back to the Future films, and especially this one.
Yeah, I remember watching when I was very young, and I do remember Biff getting rich.
Yes.
And I like, that's such a cool concept. Of you get a book years ago from your grandfather, and then you use it to get rich, but at the same time you become a douchebag.
Yeah, well, I mean, of all the people to get that book, Biff was like the last person you want to have it. Pretty sure Marty wouldn't have gone consumption with power with it, but still, like Doc says, he didn't build the time travel to get financial gain. He wanted to venture the universe in space and time and all that. So
He wanted everything to be as it should be.
yeah, he just wanted to see where progress went. It's kind of a contradiction because he does alter the timeline for his own friend's benefit, and I'm pretty sure that's the bloody house from Gladiator. Whatever. Irrelevant. You can't even see the screen. It's a screensaver. It's definitely one from Gladiator. Yeah, you're right. It's a kind of contradiction because here's Doc trying to do a favor for Marty to change time.
But he's the one that screws the world up. Or potentially,
he's responsible.
If it wasn't for him, like the whole world going into chaos was their fault because they created a time machine.
You could say it was Marty's fault because he got the book, but at the same time, Doc put him in the situation for it to be allowed to happen.
So yeah, it's his responsibility.
Definitely.
That it happened.
Definitely his responsibility.
Thank God they freaking fixed it.
Well, did they? They haven't really fixed it yet. I mean, they fixed the Biff scenario, but, you know, Marty's still not back in his normal time, and Doc is stuck in the West. So
yeah, but besides that, the whole world is back to normal in the 80s.
Fair enough.
That's a pretty good trade-off.
Yeah.
2 people for the whole freaking world, basically.
Saving Hill Valley from becoming an industrialized, you know, commercial Las Vegas, thanks to Biff. No, thank you. The bikies were cool, but I don't think it's a good scene.
You know, it's funny. It's like all the bikes, like, yeah, bikies are bad.
Yeah, that's the
stereotype. It's like bikies welcome.
This is what happens. Bikies take
all the rich people turn into bikies.
The freaking riot squad tank. I was waiting for RoboCop to arrive and just.
So what happened? Like people turned because they said gambling has become legalized. So everyone started gambling and lose their money, and then the rich become rich, and then people just like it's kind of how the world is kind of becoming.
Yeah, well, Biff is the provider of all this entertainment, right? So you got people that are just like giving Biff their money, living in the poor state where he's like the capitalist dog. I don't know how it actually would deteriorate that way, but it seems like Biff had...
I think it's gambling. Everyone turns into gamblers, degenerates.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens when...
To all the vices that Biff would have given them.
Yes.
Like, even Lorraine was a sucker for that. She married Biff because of his money to try and have a better life for her kids. And she was, because of that grief or whatever, she drew to alcoholism. I think everybody had their own vice given to Biff in that. Yes, let's talk about the paradox of what you were talking about, that when Marty went back into the alternate modern-day reality, that there was no other Marty. I don't think so, because the first scene where we see Tycoon Biff, his first line to Marty is, "You're supposed to be in Switzerland." So the script is try to avoid that complication by saying Marty's supposed to be out of the country.
I get you. So yeah, he would have ran into him.
Yeah.
At his mum's house.
And again, convenient, the alternate Doc has been committed into an insane asylum. So again, they don't have the interaction.
Yeah. No, that's like...
This to me is where the problem is, because again, you shouldn't look too far into it, but
yeah,
you know, it's an alternate timeline where there's now a new Marty, but he has no recollection of a life with alternate Mother Lorraine and alternate siblings, but they remember him. You know, I'm more so referring to the first film where they altered like George and Lorraine's marriage, and they're much more happier and successful. But Marty has no recollection of that at all. You know, but according to that timeline, there is no other Marty. He is the Marty. How does that work?
Yeah.
You don't want to look far into it, because the more you look into it deeply, like it ruins the whole magic of the film.
Yeah, but at the same time, it doesn't. To me, I don't care.
Yeah, the bottom line is it's a fun ride, and it just keeps you on your toes with every scene. Mainly because it doesn't give you the achievement you want at the end until the very end of the film. You know, basically the goal of this film is to retrieve the Almanac book. That's from like the end of like Act 1. The Almanac is the item of all this chaos. How many times is a close call when we get it, then we lose it, and then we think we get it, but it's not the right book. We're about to get it, and an alternate like thing happens. It's like, oh, come on, it's right there, get it, until finally he gets to the very end, and it's like the solemn moment where he just like burns it. All that chaos that errated from the stupid little book literally burns away.
Yeah,
You know,
but it's a good MacGuffin.
It is.
You see movies like like the whole MacGuffin thing is like because it's like overused, but this was done.
I find
Wow.
a lot of shows and movies these days, it's not the main key MacGuffin. It's like we're gonna introduce a new MacGuffin and then a new MacGuffin and then a new MacGuffin in order to get to that main MacGuffin. What I love about this is the chaos all arrives just from that main MacGuffin always being just bloody out of reach.
Getcha. Yeah.
To me, it's formulaic to the issue with the clock tower in the first film. Simple objective: keep the freaking cable link together. But like
Yeah.
to achieve one goal causes another thing. It's still revolved around keeping this cable linked, because of the lightning bolt. They use the same kind of rule and law with this one, and to me, it makes the film all more enthralling. Instead of just like you said, introducing something new every 2 seconds, something new, something. It's much more impactful when this object, kind of like the One Ring in Lord of the Rings, when we're introduced to it at the beginning of the film, and it's still with us midway to the end of the film. It leaves the audience with a much more emotional investment and impact
Yeah.
because we're kind of seeing this item
From the beginning.
from the beginning, but through the eyes of Marty and Doc's freaking point of view too. Marty sees it as an item. Oh, we could take advantage of this at first, but then we see the repercussions of that kind of ideology and all that stuff. So it becomes this tainted thing to absolutely despise and hate and want to see destroyed by the end of the film. Instead of introducing us to a new villain or a new antagonist or a new obstacle, it's always the one item of interest. And they don't make films like that anymore, man. They always try to feel like they need to give the audience something fresh to look at because they have the attention span of a goldfish.
It's funny because this movie feels like it's for people without an attention span too.
Yeah,
So
it keeps you on your toes, man.
it's always interesting. Like the first film, it's always every scene filled
Exactly.
with new stuff. And when I was a kid and I watched it, I felt like it was like a 4-hour film.
Yeah,
It's one of those ones that I feel like this. I swear this scene went longer when I was a kid, but it's not.
it's
It's
a
just
flurry, man. It's a flurry,
Yeah.
flurry of information. What was it? A minute, an hour and 40.
that's nothing.
Not even a 2-hour film. It feels like an episodic 3-hour epic.
I remember before the first one, I'm like, oh, okay, well, this film might go for like, 2.5 hours? You're like, no, it's like barely 2 hours.
Yeah,
I'm like,
man.
what?
And it still feels so,
Back to the
so
Future?
chilling. Yeah.
Because I can't remember. It's like, whoa, they fit all these like things, this whole journey in an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah. And it feels so much more larger, man. The broader scope of it. It's just, sometimes less is best,
Yeah.
And
They didn't write, so they didn't plan to make a second film.
not originally, no.
That's crazy to me because honestly,
Yeah,
this
watch it
film was
well.
probably written. I don't know how they writ this movie as good as they did.
Yeah.
It was like almost perfectly like they planned it all
It was
along.
always meant to be interactive with the first film. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
whoever
loved it.
wrote it, was it the director that wrote it?
I believe it was Zemeckis and Bob Gale again. Could be wrong. Apologies if I am. But I believe it was the original whole crew from the first film. Now, saying that, there's only one different thing, and that is the actor Crispin Glover, who plays George McFly, and Elizabeth Shue, who replaced Jennifer. But there was controversy around between the events of Back to the Future 1 and 2, and that is Crispin Glover, the guy that played George McFly, he kind of, quote-unquote, overstepped his welcome because he was really adamant on making the sequel and his version of what if the sequel focuses more on Marty and George and their adventures through time and all this stuff. And the producers and all were trying to explain, no, this. Sorry, Crispin, we loved you as George McFly in the first film, but you're not going to be the central core figure in the second one. And
Yeah, right.
tensions grew about that. So they basically fired Crispin. And so the stuff that we see with George McFly is either one, original footage from the first film, and if it isn't, it's literally a stunt replacement that they made prosthetics to make him look as resembling as Crispin Glover's George McFly as possible.
And put him backwards.
Well, they hide him. They put him in shade sometimes. You see him out of focus. Or, yeah, he's back to camera, like we see with, like, the Biff fight from a different angle. And, that Crispin Glover didn't like that. And I believe at one point he did try to sue them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it got pretty bitter.
But, I mean, so he wanted to limit the doc and and Marty.
He
No
wanted to-
way.
Yeah, he wanted to be more this father and son thing,
No.
where George was going to be a central character.
That seems so egotistical.
Yeah, it kind of does. He really thought
He
it would be
wasn't that
Batman.
big. He wasn't that important. I don't feel like he was even that important.
I mean, he kind of was in the first film. The whole story revolved around him falling in love with Lorraine, right?
Right.
Which was
He
great.
took
but-
that out of the idea of what
Yeah.
everyone loved it because of Doc and Marty.
Exactly. He seemed to fail to realize that he was not the main character.
He wasn't the. Yeah.
And so when the time came around for the second one, he really was really wanting to get more involved. And he didn't like the fact that he was a sideline. And yeah, it got really hostile. So they basically fired him from any furthering
Well, thank God.
stuff. Yeah, so even when we get to part 3, Back to the Future, there's some moments where we see George. It's actually not George. It's Crispin Glover, it's someone else. Yeah, so that was a little did you know fact.
In the end of the first film, they almost set it up for a second film, didn't they?
It was
I forgot
it was, but it was like it was a gamble. Back to the Future at the point whether it was going to be a successful hit or
Right.
an 80s flop. But Zemeckis said, whatever, we're going to have this ending anyway because it kind of suggests that
open
they've
a
gone
little
on to further adventures.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
So either way, it's fine.
Yeah, but then it was such a huge hit that the fans, writing on paper, demanded a sequel. So it's like, what, 2
Let's
or
make
3
it a
years
trilogy.
later?
So they
Yeah.
did this back to back.
Part 2, part 3, man, because it was such a big hit. They knew that a trilogy would be successful, and they were absolutely right. I couldn't tell you what's the most least liked. I assume it'd be the third one, but I don't see any reason to hate the third one. It's just like you got your favorite. Most people, of course, will love the OG. I love the second.
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't know between the first and the second one. I feel like the second one had more.
It did.
Like, what did the first one have that the second one didn't? Maybe it was the more the ending, the clock tower part. People kind of like that.
Of course. And
Or
characterization, there's not really much development in terms of like people's narratives. It's really, it is literally a middle story. You know what I mean? A
see.
chapter, if you will. So there's no development whatsoever. It's just Marty and Doc who go into the film, ending in the film the exact same way. It's just them trying to fix the chaos. The only thing that could be different is Doc's perspective on time travel. We see at a middle point of this, he's starting to regret ever creating a time machine because of what happens. That's the only real development we get. Other than that, it feels like a chapter in a big book. I'm fine with that because this film was really just to demonstrate chaos theory, right? What would happen if you were able to change time, alter the past? Would it be for good or would it be for bad? And okay, there's a pro there, but I guarantee it comes with like 10 different cons of altering time. So that's what this one was really about. And the third one, the tempo and all that kind of goes back to the first one. That's all I'll say about it. Okay.
yeah, I really like that part with Doc and Doc meeting each other, and then they had the music come in. I was like, oh, it's kind of really cool.
That's what I love about Silvestri. His music, it just somehow hits a key
Yeah,
of like nostalgia, or it brings you back
Yeah.
to a moment. It reminds you of a significant moment in maybe the same film, a different film. I love it. And yeah, Back to the Future's soundtrack in general has gone down as probably in the top 5 most iconic soundtracks of all time for that exact reason.
Also, Doc never interacts with anyone else but Marty
Yeah.
and Marty's girlfriend at certain points.
Vaguely, yeah.
Vaguely. And is that it? I feel like
He never really has a one-on-one or a physical
With
direct
anyone.
thing with Biff. The only time
Oh,
he gets
yeah.
close is when he knocks him with the door, and that's it.
that's why it was such a poignant moment with Doc and Doc, because it's like, wow, it's him talking to someone else
Other than
other
Marty.
than Marty.
Yeah.
And
Never really thought about that. Yeah, these like social connections. He doesn't really have many. Yeah.
yeah, and I kind of wish he turn around and is like, it's me. Like, it's like,
Did you
It
know?
would-
Did you not know?
it wouldn't have ruined anything, I don't think, because Doc is smart enough to know,
True.
like, all right, let me not stuff
Yeah.
it. But the doctor hand ranch is like, let me just in case not ruin anything.
Yeah.
That was cool, and he saw he kind of changed. He kind of had this. He's usually like very but when he was talking to himself, he kind of like had a smile.
Yeah, he
He was
calmed
looking
down.
up and he calmed down a bit, and he was like, like his human side more came out when he was talking. Even though it was such a small scene,
Yeah.
it was so small.
It's beautiful though.
Yeah,
Can we
beautiful.
just pause?
Yeah.
I really go on the toilet.
Yeah. Sorry.
Just pause.
Sponsored by Pepsi.
And you're in water.
I know all
Max.
the weatherman says it's not going to be any rain. Well, there's going to be plenty of rain, all right. Wind, thunder, lightning. It's going to be one hell of a storm. Well,
All right, we're back.
Uh,
Actually, I'm gonna piss, but I can wait.
well, we'll try and wrap it up then.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. Honestly, I don't know if I like the first or second one better. I'm just gonna stick them around the same.
Cool.
So we'll go straight to ratings. I forgot what I gave the first film. I think I gave it an 8.5. I'm just gonna stay where it is, an 8.5. Oh yeah, the first one had a bit more character development. Everything was kind of new, fresh.
Yep.
What else? So yeah. No, the second film just had more though. What else did I like from the first one? Yeah, I guess the MacGuffin in the second movie, like there was more stakes in the first one.
Mhm.
In a sense,
Well, especially for Marty. Yeah.
yeah, trying to get the family back together. That was kind of a bigger deal than even though the book is more of a deal in a way. It was like more just a MacGuffin in a sense, but I don't know. I like both of them the same, so I'll give it an 8.5. How about you, Mitch? What'd you give the first one?
I gave the first one an 8, I believe, and I'll be giving this one a 9.
A 9 out of 10.
Yeah, and it's strictly on what I've said pretty much every time I ever speak about it. It's just the chaos. I love like the first one had a tempo that was like, it has as highs and its lows. This one just stayed in gear 6 from beginning to end, and I just love the cause and effects of everything that happens in it. You try to solve one problem, you create 2 more problems, and it just leaves you questioning: is it really worth altering or tampering with time? Is it really worth it? It quits that question, and in my opinion, by the ending outcome of this second film, the answer is no. Absolutely not. Just kind of be happy with what you got. But it's also a contradiction because they still altered the first film.
I'm surprised you didn't give it a 10.
I don't believe in perfection.
I know, but it's
But I'm not even going to wait for the third one.
it depends how you see a 10. Yeah.
This is my version of perfection. A single thing cannot be perfect, but a collective can be perfect. And I'm going to say it right now. This Back to the Future trilogy, even before the third one, is seen the first one with Josh, is perfect. It will be a 10 out of 10 trilogy.
I need to fight back with you a bit here.
That's fine.
Because if you give the first one an 8, the second one a 9, and the third one a
I
7,
know.
and if you get the average of those 3,
I know.
it adds up as like an 8.
We're not going on
On
pure
math.
mathematical statistics.
Okay, fair enough.
Especially when this film contradicts its own rules.
yeah. Well, that we can just
So I love it. I'll give it a 9. I love that
Okay.
we got to see the colourful, over the top expression of the future, of which you got a few things pretty accurate and a few things inaccurate. Being able to predict the weather,
Yeah.
is never going to happen. A few other things, and of the alternate reality of
Oh, we can do that, by the way.
modern day. What's that?
Predict the weather.
But not to that exact.
No.
Like, wait 5 seconds. Like, according to us, we can get a storm in 4 days. I guarantee it's not going to happen. But we get to see the alternate reality and the repercussions of how when screwing up with time has its worst case scenario. And then we go back to where it all started. And I wish I was in the cinemas for the first time seeing that.
Yeah, god damn it.
Going and relive the nostalgia of the first one. Because like I said, there was a 3-year gap between the first film and this one. So all the fans that were waiting and waiting and waiting for this, and they got to see that, they got to relive the events of the first one just from a different perspective. That would have been magical. And
They got that with Alien, Terminators. They got Back to the Future. They got all that.
80s time
The time
films,
periods. We got like Lord of the Rings and
which is that's not a bad thing.
no, but I'm just saying we got
epic,
one thing.
our generation was like epic fantasies.
Yeah, like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. But they got so much more.
Oh well, we got a lot of flops. You know, we got with Narnia, which was one really
Ugh.
gone.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like legends.
Yes.
When they got like one or two legends, they got like 10.
Oh, they got so many.
It's crazy.
The birthplace of like the golden era, in my
Star
opinion, of
Wars
cinema.
and all
Well,
that.
that was the 70s, but yeah, it led into the 80s. Yeah, man. So that's my rating, 9 out of 10.
All right, sweet. I don't think we missed anything.
I think so.
No.
Covered pretty much sprinkle of everything.
Yeah, it had everything the first one did. It was just, it's just one level higher. Everything we loved from the first one level higher.
Yep.
That's pretty much how it was.
Absolutely.
But the first one always has its uniqueness.
It's the OG.
It's the OG. It has that you can't replace the first
Yeah.
movie.
There's magic involved in the first one,
Yeah.
and it's the question of like, it brings back the questions of what would you do if you had the ability to time travel? Would you be friends with your father or mother? If you saw them at the same age, would you even get along? Would you kiss
What
your
do you
mother?
Well, would you be mates with your dad?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if my dad bullied me. Not saying he was a bully, but he was always like a sports fanatic.
Might go
I
full
kind of
time.
wasn't, so we probably wouldn't really hang out.
Yeah. No, I'll be too, like, holy crap, it's him.
Yeah, I'd
Like,
be freaking out.
he'd be like, this guy keeps following me. He's like, why does this kid keep following me?
Why do you keep following me around?
Motherfucker, what, you think you're my son or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, we'll probably, in the next couple of weeks, we'll do the third film,
Yeah, sure.
which we all know it's not going to be quite as good, but, because I remember I did watch the third one,
Okay.
probably like 15 years ago.
Mhm.
I have less memories of the third one than the second and 1st,
Mhm.
which is kind of expected. I remember there was a scene where Doc came in. I have one shot of this and one shot of that. Please.
Yeah.
But like it's very faint. That's pretty much all I remember.
Yeah, whiskey. True Western whiskey.
I'm still coming down from a cold. But,
Yeah, I'm coming off it myself. It's just the season.
Season to be wondrous. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's our classics review for Back to the Future. Ooh. And we'll see you on the next episode. Yes.
Make like a tree. And...
Da-da-da-da-da.
Take
it I was going to add something probably there. All right, so late.
Bye.
Oh no, I probably won't keep that in.
Is it me or is it
No, I
all?
was talking crap like all these crappy 80s films. I'm never doing all these classics again. Like bring back Madame Web and all the new all the new
You gotta
Marvel
put that. You
films.
gotta put that in the intro.
Yeah. It's like all this crappy 80s cheesy CGI. It's crap. It's before they even knew how to do any CGI.
Definitely put it as the
Yeah.
intro. That'd be funny. Oh, hey, Mitch.